Hello, everybody. Welcome to the new episodes of the Freja MMA podcast. Bit of a strange one because there's not much MMA to talk about, but we're going to see some familiar faces. We're going to hear about other people's times and what they're doing at the moment. Speaking of familiar faces, check who's back, everybody.
Hello.
What's up, Joanne?
Hello, Reza. How you
So,
doing?
we're not in our usual studio, but what can we
Well, I
do?
guess I am,
Yeah, you are.
technically.
Because Joanne literally lives in the studio,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Literally lives in the studio. So, how are you doing, man? I actually haven't come and seen you physically in a long time. I see you've grown the beard out during the Corona
Yeah.
times and that. So how are you doing? How has this affected you so far?
Well, I'm doing all right. The company I'm working for, not so much. I think they tanked like overnight 75% of their sales. So they've had a lot of trouble. Had to fire a lot of people. Sent me off to work at a competitor, or how would you say, a different kind of shipment industry that's taking a heavy hit as well. Except their how would you say, sales are going up instead of down, so they needed a lot of help.
Everyone's getting hit by this thing, man. Everybody
Yeah,
is. Um, Not only that, but we don't get the entertainment that we wanted. I mean, we were supposed to go to Glock this weekend in Gävle. We were supposed to go to
yeah.
Halmstad and see AK Fighting Championship. Who knows when the next time we can go and literally see MMA is? Like, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. It's definitely going to take a while. I don't think that they're going to let up on the 50-person restriction anytime soon.
No, I mean, just think of just the fighters on a card, and then they need like 3 cornermen each, maybe two. And then it's like cameramen, production team, announcers, commentators,
Yeah, but that
referees.
works as long as everyone rotates around. It's just like you just can't put everyone in the same place at the same time, which you'd want to do,
But I,
definitely.
but I guess as well, you got to think that everyone needs to obey by someone else's rules. So, for example, we got like SMAF, which we're gonna be talking with Jürgen a bit later about how that all works. But we have the Swedish MMA Federation that is overlooking these events, and then above that, there's also these sporting people that are or event people that are seeing like what events can actually take place. So
Mm.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I see the new news now that we will be maybe able to fly June 15th. I think it was something like that. Day before my birthday, everyone. How about that?
Yeah.
You're welcome. So you could probably be someone that can talk about this. How have you seen the difference of like the the public, the people? Like when you go out, do you see as many people as you usually would, or what?
Yes. But that's only because the places I visit are the shopping, like the food centers and stuff like that. But I'd imagine everything else is desolate. But I'm not walking around downtown right now buying lattes
Yeah,
and looking at people because well, yeah. I'm
but
one of the guys that this has really like fallen into my lifestyle already. It's like, oh, you shouldn't go out and meet people. What?
yeah, I mean it's pretty lucky because you're
Yeah.
already a gamer. I'm now trying to be a gamer. I'm now trying to stay in and play online games, but everyone's too fucking good. What's up with
Yeah.
that? But yeah, like you've gave me some great recommendations on games in the past and that. So what are you playing at the moment to stay in
Right
and away
now,
from everyone?
Mountain Blade Warband 2 or Mountain Blade 2.
Straight over my
Yeah.
head. It could be anything. It could have been anything.
Yes.
Is it like an adventure game, fighting game, what kind of stuff?
It's a fighting game. You are a character and you have an army. There are several factions, fighting, 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 grinding, grinding.
But it really immerses you and takes you out of the predicament that you're in at the moment.
Yes.
That's decent. That's decent. So we had a lot of plans for this year, man, and Looks like,
Yeah,
we have to postpone all of these things as well.
yeah.
But
There's nothing you can do about that. I mean, you just gotta sit down and wait it out. Don't be like, we gotta know when this stuff ends so we can keep our business up. It's like, well, nobody is going to know when it ends. So the one priority should be to keep the business up.
and I mean, I was kind of thinking that for content creators, this should be the perfect time for them because everyone's going towards YouTube and Netflix and things like that to get their entertainment. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Netflix. I think they choked their bandwidth, right? So they're not streaming in 1080 anymore. There's only 720. Even if you're paying for the 4K, it's like no. Too many people are watching right now, and everybody likes internet.
I see a few people are doing these kind of packages that like Viaplay, I think, is also adding the sport package for if you have the normal TV one, and adding the TV one if you have the normal sports package.
Yeah.
But there's no sports anyway. There's no sports.
Reruns, man. They have decades of reruns.
Yeah, but like I guess we're lucky with MMA that we can watch reruns of that. I mean, I wouldn't want to watch a football game from like 3 years ago that didn't really mean anything at that time, kind of thing. Okay, yes, there is championship finals and things like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch a football game, like, except for going live.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So
it's
we
like,
are lucky to the point of we can watch, the baddest knockouts of the year 2016 and
yeah,
things like that. So
yeah. Amazing kicks compilation. Yeah,
yeah, but
all the
I hope
things.
that this kind of stuff at least lightens up a bit, so that you and I can get back to our old grinding ways and start kicking some podcasts out of MMA news.
Yeah.
That would be pretty nice. So Joanne, I
Hmm.
wish you good speed for now. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
talking to a few other guests, and stay safe and
Yeah.
speak to you later, man.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
See you, man.
see
Bye.
you, man. Bye. So there was Joanne. I'm gonna see if my next guest is ready to call in. Let's see now. This is now the part that Joanne is usually doing as well. So just bear with me one moment, and I'll get him in. So as you heard, Joanne's oh, there we go. Can you hear me okay? Okay, I'll just yes, I can hear you fine. Let's just try and get you in here. As I said, behind the scenes bit. This is parts that we usually edit out, and obviously we can't do that now because we're going live. So let's just try and get you in there, okay? And look at that! All done it all by myself. Sebastian Gonzalez Martinez. Sorry, there we go. Almost
Thanks,
got your
man.
name wrong as well. From MM1Net. How are you doing?
I am in desperate need of a haircut. I am feeling the effects of seasonal allergies, but much like Destiny's Child, I am a survivor at least. So
Yeah, this is the worst time as well with the allergies, especially that every time you hear someone cough or sneeze, people immediately think of the worst. But it is also flu season. It is also pollen season. What can you do, man?
yeah, it feels like I'm in a horror movie where it's like I'm suspected of being like bitten by a zombie, and everyone's just looking for the first.
Oh, there we go. You're back now. You cut out for a bit there. So as a reporter, as a journalist, how is it hitting you at the moment? I mean, you're stuck in your home, not able to do what you're usually doing. How's that feeling for you?
Well, it's definitely dull. I mean, I had a lot of things planned
Mm.
this month. I'm both as reporter, but also as commentator. We had Cage Warriors London and UFC London planned and booked and paid, and I think my status to that was uncertain up until like the day before, pretty much. But we decided to opt out, and that obviously ended up yeah, being for the best.
Yeah, I mean, as I
Uh,
said to John, we're missing out on some good events at the moment. There was Glock in Yavle, there was AK Fighting Championship. Superior Challenge is a bit up in the mix at the moment as well. So sad times for MMA in Sweden at the moment.
Definitely, and I feel like it was just when like Swedish MMA was really starting to get like a really good roll going. Like the last event in Sweden was Fight Club Rush 6, which I thought was a fantastic event, and it was really interesting to see like okay all the upcoming fights, Wolf and AK, and then Glock as well. I was really looking forward to a fight between Adam Westlund and Joakim Tollefsen. I think that was just fireworks in the making.
Yeah,
And now we're all just kind of stuck. It's like we got a flat tire in the middle of nowhere.
yeah. I saw on Arden Westland's Instagram today that he officially made weight in his living room,
Yeah,
and so at least he's keeping his spirits up at least.
there truly is no one like Autumn Westlund. I mean, fantastic. I saw it as well. It was really great, and it was so him as well. He just continues to be one of the brightest and upcoming stars in Sweden.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely going to go far. And been trying to get him on the podcast for a bit, but he doesn't really seem like one of those techie guys. Very, very earthed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember like before his fight with Robin Roos, I saw a video where it's like I think it was the night before or something like that. He's walking out like on the grass barefoot, and it was pretty cold and stuff. But he wanted to just get the feeling of earth, like so. Yeah, it very literally demonstrates your point.
Yeah, exactly. So you're in Malmö at the moment, is that correct? So
Yes,
that's one of the big cities of Sweden. How would you say that the virus has created? Is there a panic in the town, or is it business as usual?
I'd say it's mostly business as usual. I mean, like Malmo hasn't really been hit as hard as like Stockholm, for example. I feel like there's definitely a large group of people not taking it seriously at all, but it is noticeable. I mean, you can tell from shops and restaurants and bars and things like that of just yeah, there's just not as much circulation out in town. You still do see a lot of people out and about, but I mean, I've basically just made my try to make short trips to to restaurants to get takeout or going to buy food, things like that, keeping it minimal.
So you're not a home cook.
I am, but I do have a lot of local restaurants that I like and want to support in tough times. I mean, I actually do really enjoy cooking. I'm actually the cook of the chef of my group of friends. I actually cooked for them 3 days ago. I made a bunch of Mexican food. But right now, like yeah, there's a lot of places that I do enjoy and that I do want to support.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the financial standpoint on this is really hitting everyone hard. I mean, I'm going to be speaking to Jürgen Hamburg, who is one of the owners of Westeros Fight Club as well, to see what the business is there with them having to close their doors for a while and things like that. So I can understand that.
Well, I mean, a lot of us outlets are also being hit,
Hmm.
obviously. I mean, I'm not really at liberty to go into details as such, but I mean, we've definitely taken, a little bit of a hit here, and I know that I have colleagues around the world in different publications that are very dependent on gaming sponsors and things like that, and there's no sports to bet on right
Hmm.
now. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that are, yeah, all over the world on every end of the business. I mean, I actually feel a little bit lucky that, we're managing because I know that unfortunately there's a lot of, outlets that are struggling now because of this.
And I mean, we are quite easy on the reins with our kind of media outlet. Of course, we have the podcast that we're trying to push out as much as we can, and social media. But for like a website like MMR that is usually bringing out 2-3 articles a day for people to read, it must be a very strange time to find the inspiration of these articles at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now it's definitely more challenging. I mean, I'm more involved on MMAnic.com than I am on .se, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for both platforms when I say that it's like we're having to find sort of angles that we wouldn't necessarily have to pursue before. I mean, there is, I mean, if you dig hard enough, there is obviously stuff to write about. There is, but the difference is that like so much more is speculation now, and it's just hearsay as opposed to having like a lot of concrete stuff, or just like a solid fight to actually talk about. Now it's just more about like, okay, what did Khabib and Conor say to each other on Twitter, things like that, which admittedly would at times be news as well. I mean, if it's something that stirs the pot a little bit, but there's just there's a completely different focus now, where it's like anything relating to UFC 249, like rumors, whatever. It's just so long as we can get traffic and interest. It's like, because I know that a lot of fans like are hoping and wondering about the possibilities of perhaps seeing a UFC show, and just wondering about the status of MMA, what's going on. So I mean, there is stuff to do, but it's just definitely more challenging than it's been before.
You're speaking about the betting and betting odds. Just in your previous statement, I saw a article that was saying that they are actually betting on where this event is going to take place. So they've said the strangest places. Well, okay, they said Abu Dhabi and places like South Africa, but they're also saying like Area 51 and on the moon and on a ship kind of thing.
Yeah, even worse, Florida. I mean, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, uh, so that's quite crazy. And also, we'll say like the most recent biggest news of John Jones' arrest. All MMA fans were like, no, but us that work in media, we're like, yes, like something to actually
Yeah,
put our mind to, kind of thing. So
it saved that weekend. It saved that weekend for
yeah,
news,
it really did.
for MMA outlets. It was like, I don't think MMA outlets have ever been that happy for a John Jones
Yeah,
scandal. Because I mean, when we get down to it, the business is telling stories and like making sure people want to hear it. And it's like now, especially when people are so starved for like some excitement in the MMA community. I mean, obviously, what John Jones did was reprehensible, especially on account of how many offenses he's committed now. But yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say that that helped MMA outlets
yeah.
out quite a bit.
I mean, you watched the video and everything. What's the Vendel Martinez exclusive here? What's your thoughts on it?
Uh, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Unfortunately, you hear a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well. When you've been in the industry for a long time, and I definitely do get the impression that John Jones does have problems that he hasn't necessarily dealt with. I mean, he said so himself that he's got an unhealthy relationship with alcohol, and I think that obviously proves it. I mean, there was something like 4 counts that he was charged for. I mean, it wasn't just DWI; it was like also like the open container, negligent use of a firearm, and it was just,
Yeah, the
and
rumors
especially
are
in
that
this time.
the police were actually called out because someone heard gunshots as well.
Yeah, and as of now, like we can't say for certain really if Jones was involved in that at all, but it doesn't paint a very comforting picture. Especially, I think it was less than a week after he made a post on Twitter urging people to stay indoors and be safe. I mean, he goes and does the entire opposite. I mean, it's unfortunate because like this truly, all his scandals over the years, it really does damage his legacy as a fighter. I mean, I know that a lot of people feel that you should see those things as completely separate, that, their performance inside the cage or in the ring should speak for itself as a fighter, and that the person shouldn't necessarily affect that. But it's doubtlessly going to happen. I mean, when somebody's been linked to so much controversy, it is going to affect their standing in the sport.
So would you say that the UFC will give him, because they're not just going to release him? I mean, that's one of their biggest prize draws, should I say? But should the UFC do something like, you know, you need to do alcohol testing as well as like doping testing to be a part of this sport, or how do you think they should deal with this? I mean, they've already said that he's not going to be like doing any kind of long-term sentence in jail or anything like this. So
Yeah, well, I mean, even if they do say they suspend them for a couple months, it's like it's not like anybody's competing now
yeah,
anyway. I don't see the youth taking any drastic measures. I mean, I definitely feel like they should at this point take a tougher stance. They have previously sort of like honestly, in a lot of cases, as with, I mean, some of the things Conor McGregor has done as well, the UFC has had a tendency of like, okay, well, the law and the governing bodies, they deal with that, they punish them, and then we don't necessarily have to put down additional punishment. I feel like that kind of sends some mixed signals that like you can kind of get away with it in the UFC if you can get away with it outside of the UFC. Uh, but then at the same time, we are in kind of the entertainment era of MMA. I mean, you saw just like the marketing between Khabib Connor for 229, using the bus attack footage in the trailer, things like that. It sells. It does. Undoubtedly, it sells. And I know that the UFC are well aware that Jones is such a huge star, such a huge draw for them. He's one of their biggest draws right now, like in the whole company. And I mean, for good reason, too. But they should, yeah, I mean, alcohol testing, as you said, it's definitely not a bad idea. Uh, I just unfortunately don't really see them doing it. I mean, I would like to see them implement some sort of like just accountability in the end. I mean, I don't know how strictly the UFC can enforce their own alcohol tests and things like
Mm.
that. I don't suspect they will, but there's got to be some kind of accountability that needs to be drawn up.
And I mean, you are one that has tasted this tequila as well, by Jorge Masvidal. So,
Actually,
oh,
I can give you a little exclusive.
okay, here we go. And if anybody wants to try, you know where to head over to.
Signed by Brett himself.
Aha. It would have been hilarious if you came with a bottle that John Jones has signed now. It would have been perfect timing.
Oh, that'd be worth like 10 times as much on eBay for sure.
And there's a few jokes going around that Conor McGregor is pissed that it wasn't proper 12 in the car, but it was Jorge Masvidal's
Yeah.
instead. Taking everything he owns, like everything he worked for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, one thing that we can at least say for all these crazy times, I mean, the people in the meme making community, the people making memes out there. I mean, what can you say? 2020 has been a train wreck, but the memes have been great.
We're surviving on them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's basically keeping those are the fumes that were going on.
Mm, yeah, definitely. And so let's see. I think we got a few more minutes. Is there any messages you want to get out there for the people? Stay safe, especially around Malmo, your city.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am glad that I've seen a lot of clubs shut down because obviously, I mean, an MMA club is a perfect place to spread COVID-19. I mean, my message is definitely stay safe and take it seriously because even if you're not necessarily affected, you could spread it to somebody who is. I mean, we saw, I forget his name right now, but it was like a young 20-something-year-old football player in Spain who had like an undiagnosed condition. I think it might have been leukemia, and he was, a high-level athlete who's now dead on account of this because he hadn't really discovered this
Mm-hmm.
until it was too late. And I mean, I know that MMA Sweden is small, and it would be a huge tragedy to see like a fighter or somebody in the community suffer from this. I mean, just as it would with anyone really, but in this context, I definitely think people should stay safe, take it seriously. I mean, you don't have to live in panic. You don't have to like go beat up your elderly neighbor and steal her toilet paper. Still be civilized, kärlek and respect, as Reza Madadi usually says. That's necessary, but take it seriously. And I do like that, a lot of people in the MMA community, fighters and stuff, versus putting a lot of funny things out there on social media, still connecting with fans and stuff like that. I mean, I know I'm posting hella many memes as well in my Instagram story, so we just gotta kind of stick together, not unfortunately not literally.
Mm-hmm.
Social distancing, stick together by webcams and platform, social media stuff like that. Because I know that a lot of people, even though we can all laugh at the memes, we're kind of low key, still kind of concerned. And with that climate, especially, just be excellent to each other.
Yeah. Oh, you've gone a bit small there. Don't know why. So will a Sebastian workout be coming out soon, or when are we expecting that?
You know, it's not a bad idea. I might try to integrate one of my cats into
That would
the
be great.
workout routine. I'm actually very close to just starting like recreating classic movie scenes with my cats because yeah, I mean this is getting to me as well. You can only read so many books before like you know start getting super fidgety and
Hmm.
kind of crazy. I'm sure my roommate could attest to that as well. Uh, but I'd say you know just keep your eyes on the on the Instagram story, and you will see if not a full workout video, you'll see a lot of me going crazy from you know partial quarantine at least.
All right. Well, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. And like you said, everyone check out his Instagram, and yeah, we hope to see you very soon on the MMA scene as well. Like as you said, commentating and on the media side as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and great job keeping, you know, doing exactly what I said. You know, we're all keeping in touch. We're all, you know,
Mhm.
supporting each other, and
All
keep
right.
up the great
Thanks,
work.
man. See you later. So there we go. That was Sebastian Vendel Martinez from MM1 Knit, giving a bit of a lowdown on how it's working out for him out there and what he's up to. Different city than us, so a bigger city than us as well. Like, there we go. And gonna move over to our next caller, down to him. See if we get on. No answer yet. We're gonna have Irman's Magic in soon. The people's champ, the heavyweight, the Bosnian bomber. Everyone knows who he is. Irman's Magic. Just contacting him now, seeing what's happening. Talked to him a bit about. Okay, he said he's coming up soon. So right now you got me. So this whole John Jones kind of stuff, it was a bit crazy. I really think that if you know that you're addicted to some sort of substance or has an addictive personality, then really you should be staying away from the things that can really harm not only your health and career, but the lives of the people around you. I mean, he has a family. He has little daughters. He has a wife or girlfriend. I'm not really sure, to be honest. And then he has a lot of people that look up to him, and he should realize that this is his platform to do something good in the world. And I mean, they said just a couple of, or was it 1 week before he done this, he posted up a post on Instagram telling everyone to stay safe, stay indoors, and then this happened. So quite crazy. Okay, let's see if Herman is ready now. Hello, can you hear me okay? Okay, let's just set up so that we'll be able to see you. I said it's not usually me that's doing this, you know, it's usually my colleague, so let's see. Everyone is allowed to have their problems and during this time, you know what I mean? Just clickety click. Go. And here we have people's champ, Irman's Magic. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much. How about you?
I'm alright. We're doing the best we can. You know what I mean? So you have quite a story. So when all this outbreak happened, you could tell the fans where you was when all of this started.
I was in Philippines on a small island called Leyte. I'm working with Dentists Without Borders, helping children in school that don't have a possibility to afford dental care.
So
So
Was that it's like a charity kind of thing, or was that the how was that all came over? Is that the organization that does that?
No, that's charity, totally ideal. So everything with our own money. So we travel down there. It's Dentists Without Borders, or like Doctors Without Borders, except that we are totally paying everything by ourselves. So we buy our own ticket and going down by a team, like 5-6 people, and helping them. And it's my second time I'm doing this. I did this same thing 2 years ago. So we were down there, and we like heard like 8 hours or something before everything. They were like they're gonna have a lockdown, so it was just like pack your stuff and go back home. Otherwise we'll be stuck down there in like May or something.
So how long was you there before you had to go home?
8 days.
8
I was down
days.
there 8 days. So we did so we helped around 500 two schools and around 500 kids, but we had planned for like 5 schools or something, but didn't go our way this time.
How long was you planning on being there?
I think it was like 16 days or something.
Okay.
More than 2 weeks.
So as soon as this whole epidemic clears up, I'm sure that you're gonna be trying to get down there and do the rest of the things that you promised out to do.
Definitely. It's gonna be probably in October or something. So if I don't get any fights or something, so we'll see what the future will tell.
Yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. You just touched on you hopefully having fight news soon. Did you have anything down in the pipeline before this epidemic, or was it still waiting for the right opponent?
No, I think I had the fight. I had a deal with a organization. Everything will be around May now. So, but nothing like how it looks like now. So just waiting like everybody else. But the plan was May.
Just waiting. I'm sure that you're used to just waiting, but now this is with a bit of special circumstances.
Yeah, now everybody's waiting. So
It's
before
not
it was
just
like,
you.
it's not just me. Before everybody was, I was like waiting for somebody to fight with and things like that. I really had hard time to finding opponents and things. But now everybody's have the same problem. Everybody's like in some kind of quarantine and doing the best thing they can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the whole world. It's happening to the whole world, and all of the MMA events in Sweden that's
So
happening right now, and it's just craziness.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but seeing in high spirits, I've seen that you have made a challenge for all the MMA fighters on Instagram. What do you tell everyone about that?
I was like sitting at the, I call it hell bike, but it's a salt bike. So everybody knows probably what it is. So I told a better guy that I would do my weight plus a 0 in calories. So I thought I would do a little bit quicker, but it took like 2 hours and 25 seconds, 25 minutes or something. So it was painful for the ass, for everything.
But you just have to clarify that you're meaning kilos and not pounds, because if it was pounds, then
sorry. It's like if you weigh 100 kilos, then you do 1,000 calories. It's like 100 plus a 0. If you weigh 120 kilos or around 130, like I do, so it's around 1,300 calories. It was because the assault bike, if you're bigger, it's easier to move around. So if you're small, then it's like your weight plus a 0. So if you weigh a 55, like I never did, I think. So it's just 550 calories. So that's how it is. It's your weight plus a 0 in calories.
I would have done it and sent you the video, but I wasn't the translation and everything. I thought it was you add more calories, so you put in calories. So, I went out and I bought a nice pizza and everything, but then, my wife translated it properly as, oh, okay. But maybe one day I'll get onto it.
I had a couple of people that answered. So I had a guy answered me yesterday. I'm up to 666. It's not going anymore. So sorry. Next week. So it's pretty fun. But if after like 40-45 minutes, it's a mental wall you have to break through. So it's fun. Try it.
It's much better than putting up old pictures of yourself, I guess.
Yeah, at least people have something to do, because actually I was looking around the Instagram. Everybody was like, it's so boring sitting at home in quarantine, nothing to do, and everybody's posting a kind of pictures 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I was like, but let's do something a little more fun, maybe more painful. So
the keyword was challenge.
Challenge, actually. Exactly, it's a challenge. If you can do your weight on an assault bike plus 0, so it's perfect. Then then you have a good workout. For me, it took like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something, I think.
So has anybody come back to you with a result that you called out? I saw that you called out. I think it was Samuel Eriksson and a few others. Has anyone got back to you with any results?
Yeah, Samuel told me, like, I talked to him and he was like, I can do whatever for I can do 1,000 calories in any other way, but sitting on a bike for like an hour, never in my life. Guram Kutatelete and Max Venno, my physical coach, are on it. So I'm waiting for response there. Okay. So we'll see.
We'll keep you posted with the results then.
Yeah. I have 3-4 guys that I mentioned, and the answer actually, and they have done it, and a girl. So
well done.
Well done.
Yeah. So are you still living in Västervik? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So before you used to travel a lot for training. How is it now? Is it just home based now, or do you have somewhere close to you that you can work out?
Now I'm gonna pack my bags after this, so I'm going to Linköping to meet my coach and do little pads and things, so I don't get too ring rusty. But the most of everything is done at home. I have a bike in my living room that I bike on, and sometimes I go up to Linköping and do some pads with my coach. You want?
Yeah, I was thinking of what kind of what I should invest my money into during this crisis, and gym equipment is definitely one thing that everyone's buying now because they can't get to the gym. Sex toys was also on the list, but we won't really go there. And alcohol gel, which everyone is going crazy about. Oh, and toilet paper probably, but in Sweden the toilet paper is still in the stores. So
yeah, PlayStation 4.
Yeah, maybe that one as well. Oh, so are you gaming a lot as well?
Nah, honestly, I got one for Christmas, but I think I have like 8 games, and I think I started it twice. So I'm building around and moving on walls and trying to be a handyman a little bit of doing things that I'm after. So taking care of my birds a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of the time with the birds. So
that we didn't really talk about that much when you was on the podcast last time. So what is your fascination with birds? How did this start?
Actually, I don't know. I always had a fascination for birds. So it was like I'm on my way to get one of them. I don't know. I think birds are fascinating and pretty smart, and the big birds are really, really nice to be around. So where are they? We'll meet them. So I love the birds. So that's why I'm. I don't know. It's a special kind of animal that the bird is.
Yeah, I completely understand. When I was growing up back in England, we had a African grey, and
I had like 3 of those or something.
but
I a bigger room. So here are where my birds are.
Mm-hmm.
And here's one of them. I can try to pick her up. So that's what I do.
You can tell her that swearing is allowed if she really feels like she needs to.
Here is she.
Oh, hello.
And here's another one. Hello. Hey. Hi.
Is it mostly Swedish or English or a bit mixed that they speak?
It's mixed of everything. It's mixed of everything. It's really mixed of everything. They're like talking mostly Swedish, I think, but it's pretty much of some English words.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a grade that talked around the 120 words, so it was like sitting next to radio.
Oh wow.
So I don't know. It's just a fascination that I have. I think they live for a long time, so they're a partner for life.
Mm-hmm.
They are. I think it's a little bit easier than a dog and a cat. I'm traveling a lot, and then they have a room that they live, like yourself. So when I'm not at home, I know they still have it really good time. So maybe that's why. And they're special. I love them.
And you get to dress up as a pirate every Halloween as well, so.
Of course, and that thing. But my birds are flying actually outside pretty much, so they go out and come back. So I love them. I love them to have that freedom, and I think birds are special.
Yeah, you don't really see that many people with birds that often. I mean, dogs and cats are usually the pets around here. So I feel like it's quite interesting when we do see people with more exotic animals like parrots.
Yeah. So actually, I took care of her when she was a little baby. Her mom pushed her out of the cage, so I picked her up. So I hand fed her,
Mm-hmm.
and she has been with me for like 2 years now, and it's a little baby.
So you're the parent to her now.
Yeah, I don't know what I am, but we get along, so we're good pals at least.
So during like you said, during this Corona time, you're doing a lot of handiwork, taking the list that you try to put away like all the time, and actually getting the things done around the house. So
Exactly.
what have you done around the house now? Shall I say?
Actually, they have built a wall. I moved the wall so I can have a bigger TV in our living room.
Maybe you are becoming a gamer then. Maybe the PlayStation will be turned on a bit more these days.
Probably, maybe. Actually, I have a bird, the other one, so she bit the hole through my TV, so I got a new one, but I'm a little big for a living room, so I had to do some things about it. So I'm a handyman today.
Mm-hmm.
Training.
We got someone in the chat that says, "Who is MMA Sweden's Birdman? Amir Malikpour or Irman's Magic?"
I don't know. You decide.
Yeah,
bigger bird.
I'm pretty sure that Amir Malikpour does not want to settle this in the cage, but yeah, we'll leave it to the comments to decide.
Yeah, this is my birdies.
And
that's better. Yeah, I think he had lots of smaller birds. They're more singing, and this is more like pets, I think. So I get lots of comments when I post like things about birds. Then I know there was a comment from Amir.
Yeah, and so we touched a bit on your MMA journey. I'm sure you're still not really allowed to give out who or where you will be fighting next. But
honestly, I don't know where I'm going to be fighting next.
Okay.
So everything is like on hold, and when things get better, I don't know if we still have the contract or if we still going to do that. So I don't know, honestly. So we'll see after everything is done. So
and I know that you've done a lot of security work during your MMA days as well. Is that still something that you're doing?
Yeah, I do it, but it's like everything else. It's on hold. In Sweden, it's like you can meet maximum 50 people at a time. So nightclubs and everything is closed. So that's not much of that. I have my other work. I work with people with drug problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that for a living and training when I can.
Because
and doing my best.
I'll say that was probably the biggest thing of MMA fighters only whose job is only to be an MMA fighter during this time. What they will be doing to just see them through financially.
I don't know. I wasn't basing lots of my economics on my MMA fighting. So since I began, I never done it for the money. So otherwise, so for me, it's like the same. I do my regular work and I train MMA. The only thing is like I cannot fight now. Nobody can.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, last year it was difficult because you had opponent fall out after opponent fall out and injuries and this and that. But at least this time it's like everyone's at hold, so you don't have to watch anybody else climbing into the cage and being like, "Shit,
Yeah.
that should have been me," kind of thing.
I hope when this is over, everybody has healed together, so
Yeah.
everybody's fit to fight. I hope so.
Well, I don't know if you put up challenges like go on your assault bike until you break your weight calorie plus 0, then maybe there won't be so many healthy people coming back.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope that they will get a better stamina at least.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, around Västervik, how is it looking over there? Is it getting quieter or is it like normal?
Nah, it's normal. It's like Västervik is a pretty town, so and I'm lucky that I live close to the water.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have that many cases of coronavirus. We have we are helping out bigger cities like Stockholm. I heard that some people from Stockholm are around. We're helping them. So it's pretty. I think everybody has had enough of it. So that's why. I see where I
Oh
live.
wow, that's beautiful.
So I'm enjoying my days here. So no, it's pretty calm here. I think everything is a little bit on hold, but I think people are getting enough of it. I don't think it's gonna get any worse with media and everything. So we'll see what happens.
I feel like she's trying to shave you there. She's attacking the beard a little bit.
She's just playing. She's outside, so she wants to probably have a flight or something. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, I'll let you get back with the family. Like you said, you got to be packing up and getting to the gym soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll speak to you very soon. Okay.
Of course, whenever. Have a nice day and take care of
You too,
yourself.
man. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Well, there you go, Irman's magic, showing off the birds, showing off what a beautiful house he has there. I mean, there's people here that's stuck in apartments and kind of getting the cabin fever, and he has a beautiful house like that, breaking down walls as well. I can imagine him just moving a wall by himself. Really, I mean, one of the great Swedish heavyweights that we have as well. Hopefully, we get to see him fight soon. That would be great. Let's see if my next guest will be ready anytime soon. Bear with me one moment. The powers of technology, eh? See, everyone can still stay in touch. I'm sniffling a bit because I do also have pollen allergies. So nobody hit me up with those kinds of accusations. Let's see. See if we can call him in. everyone should stay hydrated. One of the key things here. No answer yet. What's happening there? See if we can get some connection with him. We'll be speaking with Jürgen Hamburg. Maybe he has a new email. Okay. Needs to have a new email, so I really need to sort out my table. It's quite shaky. Not the greatest studio, I know, but what do we do? The Corona time, everybody. Like Airman was saying as well, I've been very busy around the house and doing a lot of mechanics in the car as well. That's quite a big thing here in Sweden. Everyone's got to change their tires at a certain time of the year. I'll also have to go through my MOT test, my besikning. So still got a lot of work to do. Plus I'm still at work. Well, we are not ones that are having to stay home during the coronavirus just yet. Yes, there is a lot of people that are working from home for the precaution of it, but it has not been said that we have to stay at home yet here in Sweden, just in case anybody didn't know. See if we can get Jürgen. I think he might still be at work at the moment. Seems to be active somewhere else. The magic of Skype, eh? Everyone's saying that I should be using different things like Zoom or Discord, so anybody recommends anything else? Right, it's all right. There we go. Hello, Jürgen. Yes, I hear you. I can't see you though. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. You're here. You're there. And I'll just put you into this. Or see, we're both as good at. Yes, exactly. We're the ones of the future. There we go. And there he is, everybody. Jürgen Hamburg, how are you doing, man?
It's good. Really good.
You're doing well during the crazy time?
Yeah, it's a crazy time, of course, but I don't like. I think we will prevail and get over it soon because we can't have it like this.
No,
Probably
no.
it's going to be a bit worse, but I hope it's all over after the summer.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was going to ask for someone that is a business owner. You're running Westeros Fight Club. You're running Fight Club Rush, the promotion. You have a farm out there. So,
Yeah.
how is it for you, especially with the financial point at the moment? Is everything still okay and in the clear?
Yeah. We have money in coffins here, so it's no problem at all. We just have to dig a bit. No, we had a Fight Club Rush 6, and it was exactly in the right timing. So it was a good show. It was a little bit of plus in it, and everything was good. After that, the word broke down. So we're planning Fight Club Rush 7. It's going to be like to the autumn, and hopefully it won't affect us so much. Our two shows we run during the year was like very good timing.
So I'm guessing when everything starts to go together again and when people can start putting up events, is it going to be a bit of a, let's say, a battle to get their events up as quick as they can? Because now there's Glock, there's AK in Halmstad, there's AK in Stockholm,
Yeah.
Superior Challenge, Fight Club Rush. Everybody wants to be the first to get up and get out there, kind of thing. Is it going to be a bit difficult, especially with Swedish MMA fighters fighting on all of the events, should I say?
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a lot of fighters are in stock and want to fight. Everyone wants to fight, and when we all start, it's going to be like a struggle to get the fighters to your show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think no one dares to like book anything because it's going to be maybe going to be canceled if this is going to be long term. So I think we're in a bit of trouble there. Everyone, I think everyone expects us to be like back in business during September, October, or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's going to be like everyone is going to run their show though. Then
Yeah, there'll be one a day kind of thing, or at least an MMA event every week.
exactly, and but we have a lot of Swedish fighters now, so we could do it anyway. I hope, for instance, that Superior Challenge still is on. They haven't booked it off. I heard that they are still on. They have not cancelled. They want to do it for Swedish MMA. They want to do the show without any audience, and probably with negative figures. But for the audience and the Swedish MMA, they want to run the show anyway, and I think it's a big thing to do. I heard some like on the internet people ask, why can't we do shows anyway? Can't we check the fighters for Corona and so on? But that's not the point. The point is always the money. If you can't get it, if you can't get a show running financially, it's gonna be like it doesn't matter if the fighters are free to go because they still want salaries. If the fighters would say we go for free this time, yeah, then we could do MMA shows. It would be still be costs, but not that high. So you still have to like rent locals. You have to have sound, lights, everything like that. But you could probably do shows if like fighters was saying that I do this pro bono just for keeping my shape and my record going.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
I feel like after this virus, everyone's price is going to go up because everyone will be in demand for MMA. Now we can watch MMA again. Now we can put on the show. Okay, but now you need to pay 10% more. Maybe it could possibly be like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because it's going to be so many fighters who wants to fight. So they haven't fought for 6 months or something. So everyone wants on a show. So I don't think they are in a position to like raise their salaries because it's going to be like a sea to pick the fishes from.
Mm-hmm. You're fishing from a barrel, not from the sea instead, kind of thing. There's so many fishes that want to come and take that bite.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like everyone wants to fight, and it's going to be like a fun thing to see who dares to book a show, and like for instance, if you say I would book September, it's going to be like a gamble, because I don't know that this is over in September, and probably the arena wants to get paid anyway. So no one, and it's probably like that. No events are going this time either. So the arenas are empty now, and when everything is back on, every sport is on it. So it's going to be tight there too. So if you book now, it's going to be easy, but it's a gamble.
Yeah, and I spoke to Alexander Kalav on my last podcast, who said that he's going to try and book the same arena in Halmstad for this Wolf and AK Fighting Championship event. That he's going to try and book every month at least one day to be able to have that arena booked for when MMA comes out again. That must be quite a financial, quite burning your money, especially if you can't put on the show.
Exactly. So it's a lot of gamble in this, and I think everyone will sit in the boat and wait this out, and then they will book arenas, and then it's going to be like really tight between the shows until Christmas.
Yeah, like I said, it would be great to have a Swedish MMA event every weekend. It would be a bit like the UFC.
Yeah, every week, and it's the same in UK. You have a lot of shows, so you can have a show every week. So it's going to be the same in Sweden. It's going to be good for Swedish MMA anyway.
Yeah, definitely. So you also being a part of the Swedish MMA Federation, SMAF. What are the logistics of having events like Superior Challenge is saying we're still gonna do it, but without the crowd and everything? What kind of rules do they have to abide by through SMAF to be able to go out with this process?
We can still do sanctions for shows. It's like the government is like the governing body. They are setting the rules now for like bigger a lot of people, more people than 50 persons. So that's the limit now. You don't know if it's going to be like 2 tomorrow, but we have 50 now, and so we can still give the sanction, but they have to obey and listen to the government anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
so
as well, like not everyone has a corona test on hand to give out to everyone. Yes, they will be looking for symptoms of flu-like symptoms and things like that, but how sure can anything really be? And you wouldn't want to be the MMA event that spread the virus, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think if we check it, it's going to be like a fighter shows up voluntarily. You're not responsible if he shows up. It's voluntarily. He signs in to fight. But when you hire people, when you like force personnel like judges, referees, and so on, that's going to be harder, because then you're going to be like an employer and force people to be there in this environment and risk something. That is a problem, because it's the same at the clubs. You can't, like, if you're going to have a club open, the members are coming there voluntarily, but the instructors to make the sessions, they are there like by demand from the club then to be able to do it. So we can't have it open. We can't like force people to be to work in these environments. It's wrong. So that's why I think a lot of I think you can still work out in smaller groups, but you can't have like regular sessions at the club.
Yeah, I've seen that through the Västerås Fight Club Facebook group, that it is actually the members that are saying, okay, let's meet up at this point and let's do a training group outside,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
something that I spoke to you about, and I think that's a really good thing, and it shows a lot of positivity, and that they are not only a group, but they actually want to help each other and work out and be healthy.
Yeah, we have instructors as well, like who runs this outside classes, and I think it's a good thing to like maintain and still be active, because just sitting at home and drinking red wine is going to be a disaster for the population. So I think we still have to be like healthy and train together, but it's going to be like voluntarily, and it's going to be like I can see that people are like not. We have 10 to 15 persons maybe, and on a normal session it's like 45.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people are like respecting the situation.
Mm. Yeah, because I was thinking as well about, with a club like yours, where it isn't just a kind of come in and do whatever you want club. People do pay a membership to come and work out in Västerås Fight Club and things like that. During this
Yeah.
time that it's closed, is there any kind of system of like, you don't pay this month, or we'll give it back to you in another month kind of thing?
Exactly. We have to take this in like people who paid for this like spring tournament, spring season now, and they haven't been able to train. It's of course they're going to get their membership like the next year. If everything is normal in the autumn, they're going to like be training for free then, because we can't have closed and still take money from people. That's not a good issue.
Yes, and you have a few pros under your belt that I'm sure, as soon as this MMA, or as soon as this coronavirus time is out, that they will also want to jump straight into the octagon or ring or wherever they fancy. Do you have any kind of system for them also, that you meet up with them and do any kind of outside training?
We have had like it's been voluntarily there too. We have the like the elite team, they are training together, but it's loose and it's not organized. But from this week, I'm going to do it myself. We have to train, we have to maintain and be like professionals. So from this week on, we have sessions for the elite, but it's going to be like a smaller groups. But they still have to develop, because we've been sitting on our ass now for 3 weeks, and we can't have it like this.
Yeah, I know you're living on the farm there. We have Mats in the comments that's saying Jürgen, the goat whisperer, as well. So I'm sure that you're not someone that's just sitting on your ass for 3 weeks, but of course it's not the same as what you're used to with the gym.
But I think I can have a game here for the boys. I will take like spray paint, and I paint them with different colors, the sheeps, and then the guy has to chase them, take them down, and book them, like sort of. So the guy who brings home most sheeps in a certain color will be like the champion for the day. So they're gonna get both the like cardio, and they're gonna get the wrestling, because a sheep can be pretty annoying.
If I was good at Photoshop right now, I would take the mental image of Andreas Bain Gustafsson with 2 sheep on each shoulder, like.
Yep. He brings them 2 and 2.
Yeah.
And suplex them. It's gonna be a nice scene.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, to make these kind of activities for your fighters, it will be a godsend when it comes back to competing, and everyone is trying to cut weight like crazy because they did sit around and do nothing for these weeks.
Yeah, that's a important issue. You have to maintain and be in shape, because when everything starts again, you can't have 6 months of like no training, because you're going to be after. So the teams and the fighters who like fights the corona and still maintain and keep in shape, they're going to be like it's going to be much easier for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you did have a few fighters booked on cards that were supposed to happen during this time.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about if they will be staying on these cards for a later date, or any kind of payment or anything like that they were promised to fight and things like that?
No, nothing like payment, because we're not on that. See, what can we say? We're not on that level that you can like force the shows to pay without fighting. But anyway, every show has told us that we're going to do the card when everything is normal. So I think the fight cards and the plannings are there, but the dates are in the future.
Okay. So we'll get to see your fighters in those cards. Of course, we can't say about their opponents and things like that. Anything can happen, but we can see those fighters, your fighters, on those cards.
Yeah, it's hard because we don't know anything yet, because the economy is another thing. It's going to be like long term, things are going to change both for the companies and the clubs and the shows, because the economy has to run anyway. And it's hard now, so I think it's going to be like a bit of it will be some adjustments, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it is what it is. I know that you're trying to keep your boys ready, and you're ready for when this kind of goes over. I know you also are pretty busy at your day job as well. But other than that, how is the household? Should I say, how is everyone doing?
Yeah, I think it's like a bit of confusion. No one knows anything, and everyone is like it's like a vacuum or something. It's like people just wait for the next news and things to go back to normal. But I think we're gonna have it a bit worse before we go back to normal again. But I hope it's gonna be back before and not after the summer.
Yeah, I know everyone is all Swedes long for the summer, especially through the cold winters that we have and everything. But and it being the Corona time, and how many people are allowed on the beach at one point, that will be quite sad for the Swedes.
But it's no problem. If you live on the countryside, you build your own pool, and then you have a private pool. So why should you bother?
Yeah, I mean, Irman's Magic was just showing off his great house on the lake in Västervik, and it's us in our apartments that's actually getting the cabin fever, not the people in the cabins.
No. Here at the countryside, it's not so like crowded that you can be. It's probably pretty corona free here. It's four or five people here, so it's pretty cool anyway. But in the city, it's another situation, and the elderly people are in big risk. So I feel for them.
Yeah, I completely understand. So I guess you living out of town and things like that, you were ready with your supplies, your canned foods, your toilet paper and things like that.
Yep.
Those were already brought on the monthly shop kind of thing.
Yeah, and I have 50 sheeps on 4 legs, and I can eat them pretty long. I have meat for probably 2 years, so it's not a problem there.
And the strange thing as well, we'll kind of go back to the whole MMA situation, is that before this coronavirus started, everyone had a little bit of news, a little inkling of where they're going to be fighting next, but they can't really say. and who they're going to be fighting next, and they can't really say. I do not envy those people that still have to keep tight lips during this time, because something might happen in the future as well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of shows has cancelled, and it's not so many secrets to hold because everything is put on hold. So I think it's like you can see on the MMA scene, on the MMA media, it's like silence. It's
Ghost
old
town.
yeah, and it's old movies rolling around, throwback to whatever, and nothing new, nothing like this is gonna happen because everything is on hold. But you have to maintain, you have to be strong, you have to be stay sharp, because when everything goes on again, the ones who has fought on and keep the shapes, they're gonna be like monsters then.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so as I said, so you're out on the farm. I hope everyone stays healthy there, especially the sheep, if they're next for the slaughter, shall I say. Don't work too hard with the day job. We were speaking earlier about how you're kind of running the shit show over there, so keep it chill with that. And yeah, we'll speak to you soon, and hopefully we'll get some clearance and get some good MMA news as well.
Yeah. We're gonna be like wake up soon. So
yeah,
we're gonna have a better MMA scene in a few months, I think.
Yeah, that would be great, and we're all looking forward to it as well. So thank you, and we'll speak to you soon.
Okay then.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye. So there we go. That was Jürgen Hamberg. That says everyone keep calm. We'll be good soon, and the MMA scene will definitely really show its amazing true colors after this is done. I'm just gonna see if my next guest is ready. Have a look. This should all be like through my mind by now, you know. Everyone thought that the technology in 2020 is going to be like so amazing, and look at where we are. We're now okay. Yes, it is amazing. We have everything on demand. We can get films on running on our TVs in an instant, but people still want more. Now people want to go outside. Maybe we should have not taken the outside for granted so much. Maybe that should be something that we should think about. Next guest will be, have a look at Thomas Dharmo, who was going to be fighting at AK Fighting Championship. I'm gonna give him a ring now. Hello, Thomas. How are you? I'm good. Let's just get you on this screen. I was saying to Jürgen, I'm not the tech guy usually, but times are hard, you know. Yeah.
Oh.
There we are. Now you're live, Thomas Dharmo.
Right.
So, as I was saying to the viewers, that you was actually supposed to be fighting very soon on AK Fighting Championship. Oh, would have been a couple of weeks ago. Is that correct?
Last Saturday, so 1 week ago.
1 week ago, and that was supposed to be against Anton Takali.
Yeah, that's right.
When did you start hearing about it starting to go downhill, shall I say?
I was in the UK prepping for the fight. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I was training over there and started hearing some talk about it. And but you know, you just have to keep going on and just wait and see what happens. And then when I got back home Sunday, it was probably 3 weeks before the fight, 2-3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, I guess it was. Then so I came home on a Sunday, and Monday morning, the Norwegian government contacted me and told me that I was supposed to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks. So,
Oh wow. Well, because of the flight between the UK and
yeah.
oh wow.
So I mean, then I would have missed 2 weeks of training for the fight. So.
Well, from your Instagram post, it didn't look like that affected you that badly. So was it self quarantine, or was it like taking your way into some military base or something like that?
No, I was like self quarantine, like just try to avoid people, and like if you can stay at home, just stay at home. But basically,
wow. And I mean, it would have been great if they was just able to be like, "Here, take this test and see if you're okay," kind of thing, and then if you are, then you can go fight. But no,
yeah, but I mean, it's gonna cost a lot of money if everyone has to do it, you know. So,
yeah,
so I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to just control the outbreak as much as possible, and it really sucks. It does, especially for me as I was preparing to fight. But yeah, I guess it just wasn't meant to be, you know.
yeah. I mean, going from about to be a headline of a card, the main event of quite a large event, to being at home and in quarantine, it must have been quite a dip. Uh, how did you recover from that, both mentally and shall I say physically, because you wasn't allowed to train like you said?
See, the physical part was was the easy one, you know. Like I've been putting my body through hell for for a long time. I was I wasn't tired yet, but you know when when I got quarantine and I wasn't allowed to train as much as I'm used to, then it felt like I started my body start to feel better. You know, when you're preparing for a fight, you always have like small injuries and pains all the time.
Yeah.
And so that recovered. The mental part was say that was the worst thing. You know, it it hit me quite hard. I was pretty upset and bummed out for a couple of weeks about this the whole situation and everything that happened. You know, I invested a lot of time and money to prepare for this fight, and I was so hoping that this was my time to shine and to show the Scandinavian MMA scene what we're all about in Norway, you know. So and everyone likes likes a good competition between Norway and Sweden, especially. So yeah, I mean it's tough, and you know, like I'd say I'm starting to get over it, but you know it's it's it is what it is. You know, it's tough, but we'll just have to ride off the wave here and then get back on the horse.
I know it's probably difficult to say right now, but is that the fight that you're looking to jump into once this is done?
I don't know, like how much I should say or not, but let's just say that Anton wasn't supposed to be the original opponent after how I like that's my understanding of it, but his name got dropped in the mix, and I said like, yeah, sure, why not? I can make I can drop down a weight class, so
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm a skinny heavyweight. So.
Yeah, you were saying like you don't know how much you could say, but like Jürgen was saying previously, with everything that is now just stopped and there is no MMA to talk about, that there is no secrets anymore. But I completely understand what you're saying.
For the fight in Halmstad, like how I got it explained that I wasn't supposed to fight Anton. I was supposed to fight someone else on that show, but that guy wasn't able to because he was still recovering. So let's see what happens in the future. You know, I'm good to go. I'm still training. Nothing like martial arts related. Because obviously all the gyms are closed. But I'm working on adding some new, let's say, athletic abilities into my game. So been using the last say 2 weeks now working on that and see like major progress in some areas. So I'll just keep on working on that until I'm able to go back to the gym.
Okay. So, what town are you in, by the way?
It's between Oslo and Gardermoen, the airport, main airport in Norway. So it's like in the middle of that. So it's like I'd say 10 minutes into downtown Oslo and 15 minutes to the airport.
Okay.
Approximately. So it's like a small city, like right outside.
Okay. So how is the situation there? I'm not really up to date on the Norwegian news. So
now, I mean, most people are staying at home. You know, it's like a lot of businesses they've shut the doors for a while, and yeah, you know the malls and everything. Some shops they're closed, some are open, some they're like. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see like what the outcome of this will be when things are starting to go back to normal. You know, it's like how long is it going to take and what consequences it will get for everyone here in Norway, like economics and also yeah. So it's going to be a tough year, I'll say, for a lot of people. But it's sad, you know, that like you can't really prepare for something like this. I guess like to know like how bad it's gonna
exactly
affect you especially as a business owner or something. You know, it's I guess you have like a plan B for everything, but still, yeah. So
because I was speaking probably to all of the guests really about the financial hit that this is creating, especially for MMA fighters that mostly get their biggest incomes of the year from fighting.
Yeah.
Is that the case for you, or do you also have another job?
Yeah, or it was supposed to be, but you don't no, I don't really have a clue anymore. What? So I've been trying to get get a job, but I don't see anyone want to hire someone at the moment with the situation being as it is. But I'll manage somehow. I guess I just have to, you know, and be ready to fight whenever someone opens their their doors and say like, hey, do you want to you want to come and dance on our show? Then I'll come and dance. You know, it's
like we were saying earlier. As soon as the doors open, all of the MMA fighters in Scandinavia are going to be jumping at the bit to get onto all of the shows.
Yeah.
This will also be a great time for Norway to start having their MMA shows as well.
Yeah. Good luck with that. The government here is a bit too conservative for that, I guess.
A bit too old-fashioned, though.
Yeah, I don't think they're even like even past old-fashioned. I don't really know what they're what they're thinking. To be honest about that, the like pro boxing got legal a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's gonna take some time before we get MMA here, at least professional MMA.
I think as soon as this finishes, this coronavirus, that this will be the time for the change. This should be the time that everyone looks at everything that is taken into regard of, you know, sport, entertainment, as well as health and fitness and all things like that. This is when they should see that there is Norwegian fighters in our country, and there is the whole thing of they want to fight.
Yeah, and I saw the Norwegian light heavyweight Martin Hamlet signed with the PFL to fight for $1 million. So that's interesting. And hopefully he'll be able to compete there this year. It's a life-changing opportunity for him. So fingers crossed that he'll make it.
Yeah, I mean, it is strange that there are these amazing fighters from Norway and probably other countries that also don't have MMA legalized. I know France recently has done it as well, but
yeah, I guess it's Norway and North Korea. I guess that don't allow pro MMA, or in Cuba.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, you want these people to fly the flag freely and represent the country that they're from. So
yeah, of course, but it's sad that like everyone is pulling in different directions. You know, you got the government pulling one direction, and then you got sports association in Norway that are I think they're more against MMA than the government, to be honest. That's the like a lot of the top, like the let's say the big fish in in the pond there, they're against MMA for some reason. So it's not going to be easy. It's gonna probably we'll need a change in need some fresh blood in to into there as well. You know, like a new generation of people making decisions. So
yeah, you're not the first Norwegian fighter I've heard say that as well. So I completely agree with you. If it's said more than once, then definitely.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. And I come from I used to play pro hockey, you know, and the injuries there compared to MMA, it's to be honest, it makes no sense for me that that MMA is illegal. You know, when you play hockey, you got all the first because like the biggest difference is that in MMA is only going to be you and one other person in front of you, and you know that the person is there. Say, for example, if you play hockey, then all of a sudden someone can blindside you and hit you right in the head.
Yeah, definitely.
Blindsided, then you're for sure gonna have a concussion. That's gonna be the minor injury probably you get from that. So yeah, it's.
I can't count how many times I've had discussions with people that say that boxing is more safe than MMA as well. Like you say that pro boxing has just become legalized in Norway, but look at how many deaths there are in boxing events compared to MMA, for example.
Yeah.
So.
But I think they kind of had to legalize boxing, you know, when you have Cecilia Brækhus been doing so well. Like you can't, like it makes no sense for her not to be able to defend her like world championships at home. She has to go to Denmark to represent Norway, you know. And we're probably gonna have to have athletes on the same level, I guess, here in Norway as she is in boxing. We're probably gonna need someone like that in MMA as well for it to to be legalized.
A Norwegian MMA champion would really spark up the conversation.
Yeah, I guess so. And we got some interesting talents coming up, so let's see.
So I wasn't able to really speak to you before AK Fighting Championship, which would have been great, because then I would have asked you about your game plan going into this fight and things. I know it's probably a bit difficult to talk about it with it being a bit up in the air like this, but Anton Takali in Sweden has really risen his name quite fast, kind of thing. So how was you feeling going against a name like that has been really making noise?
Yeah, you see the thing is, like he's been making noise, that's for sure. He's been he's been really on to another Norwegian fighter you probably know,
Yes.
Kenneth Berg.
Yep.
Been trying to get that fight and stuff like that, and so my feelings towards Anton is as an athlete, like he's been doing really good. He has medals in the IMF tournaments. So you can't really take anything away from him. But and he's probably a nice guy with his friends and family and stuff like that. But the public figure or public person that he's trying to be and act, I don't like that. I think it puts the sport of MMA in the wrong direction. When he's saying a lot of, I'd say, stupid shit. To be honest, for me, it makes no sense. You should show more respect to everyone, like as a human being. It's of course I know he wants the fight with Kenneth, and I don't blame him for that, but it's just the way he approaches it. I think it really puts the sport in a bad spotlight,
Well,
especially for us in Norway that are trying to legalize it. And when the media sees like what he's saying, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about a potential fight. They're talking about what this guy is saying, and like it make us look really bad. Like not everyone is like that. So like the public, I'd say the public character that he's putting on is, I don't fancy that at all. I think he should be more respectful.
Yeah, I guess it's the whole Conor McGregor era of MMA, to the point of
I'll say
talk all the shit, and
he's trying to be a bad copy of Chael Sonnen, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's up to him how he wants to act in public. You can't really take away anything that he's been doing inside the cage, but outside, I was really looking forward to punch him in the face, to be honest.
Well, if things all sort out and then fall into place, I guess you will get this match if that is the fight that is happening with AK.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll leave that to my management. I'll just train and try to figure out life in between. It's that's my take on it. Like, there's a few other guys I want to fight as well. Not because I don't like them or anything, but I think they're good athletes, and it would be good names to have on your record. So
you want to challenge yourself as well. So
yeah, of course. Like you want to get the good fights, and from there progress forward, and hopefully first of all develop. Like you win or you lose, but you'll always learn something anyway. So
yeah. So what would be your message to all your fans and followers about this time that we're in, and how to get through it, and what comes out to the other side?
It's a good question, you know. Like, I think everyone is like in their just in their little bubble, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel it myself, you know. It's like I'm just stuck at home, and then I'll go down in my garage, or got like a small football field right outside my house,
Mm.
where I do like different types of drills. So I'll either it's like where you find me, like either in in the apartment or over there, just uh, trying to do what I can do to develop, and
Mm.
but I think you know, like in times like this, people should uh, hopefully they'll see what really means something to them. You know, it's like um, you got your family, everyone's healthy, hopefully, and should be you should appreciate that a lot, and just take the time to maybe maybe learn some new crafts or whatever, and just try to make time pass. You know, it's gonna be a tough time, but uh, gonna make like some people are probably gonna break, but if you don't, then you'll come out stronger. So
Mm. That's a great way to say it, and I'm really looking forward to after this all kind of blows over to see you in action again.
that'll be fun. So hopefully soon.
Yeah, and
But
hopefully you'll get to stay on the cards in Sweden that you was going to be on as well.
yeah, I mean, we're I was actually uh, backup for a fight the week after the fight with Anton as well. So I want to stay active, you know, and compete as long as I'm healthy. So
Mm.
uh, it would be, and that would have been a really good show, and potential good fights. But that show got canceled as well. So
Mm.
I don't know. Let's just see. You know, I want to stay active. That was my plan for this year. I was hoping to get at least four fights, as long as I was healthy. But it's gonna. Then I guess December is gonna be an interesting month if I'm gonna keep the same
Four
same
times
goal.
in a month.
Yeah, it'll be like it'll be gonna be a rough month, but
Mm.
oh, hopefully I'll be able to buy my kids some nice presents for Christmas. Though,
Yeah,
let's see.
it's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Getting your foot in that cage and then getting some good Christmas presents.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And cake.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking the time out to talking to me, and I hope we'll see you very soon.
Thanks for having me on, and thanks to everyone listening to your show, and keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So there we go. That was Thomas Dharmo, and yeah, inspiration definitely. He's looking to keep fit, and then as soon as it's time, he's gonna start fighting again. There we go. Like, it would be great to see him like just keep on fighting in 1 month. Could you imagine that? Imagine if we come out of this in December and then fight after fight after fight. That would be fucking awesome. Just gotta say that. Really looking forward to that fight as well against Anton Takari. And didn't actually know that there was so much grudge. Like, it seemed like a pretty much a grudge match there. I mean, Narmo seems disrespected by him. It would have been an exciting fight. Let's see if we got our last guest. I know this podcast is probably dragging on for everyone, but we gotta get this done. It's always the main event that's hard to get our hands on, you know. So wait for notifications. So during this time, I guess this is exactly what we gotta do. We got like Dharmo is doing, like all the other fighters are doing, staying healthy, staying ready. Because as soon as they lift open the starting gates, everyone's gonna run. You know, everyone's gonna run into the octagon, and it's gonna be an exciting time for the sport. It's gonna be an exciting time for everything, really. I mean, with everyone's gonna be grateful for what they have in the normal day-to-day life, grateful for everything. I'll just quickly mute this and see if I can break him. So just bear with me one moment. Bit difficult to get him right now. I'll give it a few minutes to see if he picks up, and if not, then we'll have to do the interview of him in another time. I wanted to talk to him really about UFC London, and he was booked to fight on that card, and then it was the week of UFC London where everything was kind of starting to close. All the borders were starting to close. The American fighters were not able to get in, or they were able to get into the UK, but I think it was a thing of not being able to fly back, or there was something about if you was a citizen and things like that. So the fighters were worried about if they were able to get back. I know there was a few fighters that flew over from the States and was actually told to just get back onto a flight and get back to America. And then we saw that Graham Boylan, who is the promoter of Cage Warriors, or the owner and promoter of Cage Warriors, was trying to get some UFC fights onto the Cage Warriors. Was Cage Warriors London card, but then they also moved out of London to Manchester to be able to put the event on, because London was on a complete shutdown as well, I think, and didn't allow them to do the event in London. See if I can give it. I hope I don't have to do it like this from my phone kind of thing. I mean, I know people enjoy seeing who we're interviewing. Okay, it doesn't look like he's going to be picking up. He's not even seeing the messages. So what we're going to do is we'll stop the stream here, and we'll try to rebook the time with Jack Marshman. I know that people may have been tuning in to hear it. I apologize, and we'll try and get that up as soon as possible, maybe in the week, or if not, we'll try and get it for the weekend. We'll keep you updated on any kind of news, and it's a bit difficult to get a podcast with fighters that don't have anything to promote just now. You know what I mean? That's why I thought we'll do this open discussion so that people could just come on and talk about how they feel and what's happening. So thanks to everyone that has tuned in or watched the podcast later or live. Thank you to everyone. We will try and keep this going in some way or another. And for everyone to stay safe. Not gonna say stay inside, but stay safe, be precautious, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Remember, MMA, not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. Peace.